Welcome to Look North. On the programme tonight, an inquest rules that a series of failings in hospital care contributed to the death of a 3-year-old boy in Chesterfield.
Our darling little boy was taken away from us and he can't come back. We long for our life to be how it was, but have to adapt to this new normal, carry on and carry Oscar with us.
The hospital involved says changes have been made and it will continue to learn. Also tonight, calls for extra policing on the Otley Run pub crawl, but businesses say they shouldn't have to pay for it. We meet the perfect teaching assistant helping out at a school in York.
Here at Wembley, in about 20 hours' time, we will begin to know whether Sheffield United will be playing in the Premier League next season. They've got to do something they've never done before, win the playoff final. We'll start the build-up tonight.
And it's looking unsettled this bank holiday weekend with some rain around at times. I'll have more details for you towards the end of the programme.
Good evening and welcome to Friday's programme. The hospital left Oscar to die. Those were the damning words of a grieving mother speaking out after her 3-year-old son didn't get the care for sepsis he so desperately needed. An inquest jury in Chesterfield concluded neglect in NHS medical care contributed to the death of the toddler. The hospital at the centre of the case says changes have been made and it stresses it will continue to learn. Rob Sissons reports.
Oscar was completely full of energy, such a happy, smiley little boy, always running around.
Oscar should be here, playing with his brother Maxwell and sister Poppy at home in Chesterfield. His mum and dad still can't believe their lovable, lively 3-year-old has gone. One day he was rushed into hospital, but he died from sepsis the same day.
From going in to then coming out without Oscar, I still can't get my head around it.
Just every minute you're just thinking about Oscar and how he could have done things differently.
Oscar had been seen by 2 out-of-hours GPs in the 3 days before he died. He was eventually sent by ambulance to Chesterfield Royal Hospital. His mum recalls the care there as chaotic. She says no one diagnosed his sepsis. Crucially, antibiotics that he needed weren't given straight away. The inquest heard there were a series of failings in Oscar's care. In hospital, there were communication problems. A paediatric nurse said her concerns weren't listened to. And the antibiotics that he so desperately needed weren't given for more than 2 hours. A prescribing error, part of that delay. Oscar's family gave their reaction after the jury concluded neglect contributed to Oscar's death from sepsis, bronchopneumonia and a strep A infection.
The hospital left Oscar to die. Our darling little boy was taken away from us and he can't come back. We long for our life to be how it was, but have to adapt to this new normal, carry on and carry Oscar with us.
Oscar's death in November 2023 came 8 months after another child died at the very same hospital, and again there were failings. Hunter Martin was just 6 months old. Both families now want to raise awareness among medics and the public about sepsis.
I want Oscar to be known for how he lived. His short life was so full of energy, happiness and love. We will forever be grateful for Oscar.
The Chesterfield Royal Hospital has offered its sincere condolences to Oscar's family. It says it's made changes and will continue to take action to learn and improve. Rob Sissons, BBC Look North, Derbyshire.
And if you or someone you know has been affected by the issues raised in tonight's report, you can contact the BBC Action Line via bbc.co.uk/action line for details of organisations which offer advice and support. Next tonight, 4 weeks ago, a Crossbow attack in Leeds put 2 women in hospital, with one needing surgery for life-changing injuries. It sparked calls for change, with campaigners asking for tighter laws around Crossbow ownership and better security along the Otley Run, the popular pub crawl route where it happened. In the first of our 2 reports tonight, a Yorkshire woman who was injured in a previous Crossbow attack says they should be subject to the same restrictions as guns. Laura Sugden's partner Shane Gilmer was killed in the same attack. She's been speaking to BBC Radio Leeds presenter Rima Ahmed about her campaign for Shane's Law.
It's strange because now when I think about it, like, I can't remember the pain because my adrenaline must have just taken over.
Laura was injured in a Crossbow attack in her home in East Yorkshire back in 2018, and her partner, Shane Gilmer, was killed. She says when attacks like Headingley happen, it all comes flooding back.
When I see it happen, it completely takes me back, and I can't stress enough how catastrophic the injuries that they cause. July last year, I only just had another surgery for some of the bolt removing from my skull. You know, so 7 years later, the damage that still physically had on me was horrendous.
What do you want to see from the government?
Just restrict them. Just simple as that. Just restrict them. Bring them in line with firearms. That's all I want them to do.
I did some research into the licensing of crossbows and wondered what the government's own website says about it. And the answer is there is no licensing or registration scheme in place for anyone wishing to purchase and own a crossbow. I wanted to see how easy it is to buy a crossbow, and with relative ease, I was able to get to the checkout of 3 websites without having to provide proof of age or ID. The companies the BBC have spoken to say they do need proof of ID for a purchase and require people to upload it once the checkout process is complete. They say they would support legislation which restricts access to weapons as long as it's proportionate. Laura's solicitor, Gemma Vine, says the length of time the government is taking is frustrating.
They just need to release their response and a timetable as to what they're going to do. We are assuming they are going to restrict because of the comments of Dame Diana Johnson, but we need to know how are they going to restrict availability, how are they going to restrict the accessibility of people being able to obtain crossbows.
The government have told us they will make an announcement on the changes shortly, but for Laura, that can't come soon enough.
Laura Sugden speaking to Rima Ahmed there, and you can watch the full report on Politics North this Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, the recent attack on the Otley Run route has also brought calls for better security. With 19 pubs, it's been a staple of student life in Leeds for decades. But that could be about to change, with people living nearby saying the huge crowds of drinkers are making their lives hell. Pubs might now be charged a fee to help pay for extra policing. Ollie Constable reports.
It's one of the country's biggest pub crawls. But the Otley Run here in Leeds could be changed forever. Thousands of people walk the 3-mile route every Saturday, stopping off at about 19 pubs, bars and venues, many of them doing it in fancy dress.
We've come as zoo animals today, so there's quite a few tigers. We've got a monkey back there, we've got a flamingo. Absolutely quality, best day out in Leeds. You get absolutely battered with your mates.
It's always good fun. It's always good fun for people to look at people's costumes. Also, the pub's making a lot of money. So yeah, no, it's good fun. It's only 1 day a week, so you can't really complain.
It's hilarious. I would recommend it to everyone. It's so funny. And the camaraderie is amazing.
How busy does it get?
Hectic. We've come here early to avoid the crowds.
Walking about, drinking.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Vibes. That's what we're looking forward to.
It's been a rite of passage for students for decades. But people living here in Headingley have now said it's become too busy and sometimes spills over into antisocial behaviour.
I can't explain to a 9-year-old why Batman's punching Spider-Man and shouting horrible things at him. And so that's really, really challenging.
So you avoid doing things you might otherwise do on a Saturday because you just don't want to be around it. Most of the people on the Otley Run, they're having fun. I've had my shopping knocked out of my hand, not not in malice, but just because they're shouting at their mate, up the road.
A lot of the issues are raised with people queuing outside the pubs because they're queuing across people's businesses, queuing across people's front doors.
It's claimed by some councillors that pubs and venues such as these are amongst the most profitable in the country, and they should be using some of that money to pay for extra policing to keep people outside of their venues safe.
Yeah, no, it's the drinking in the streets, that's the issue.
There's already rules around street drinking, but people living here say antisocial behaviour is blighting their lives. There's a specific policing operation every weekend. 2 officers cover Otley Road to keep people safe, with more police sometimes being brought in. This issue around safety isn't new, but it's been brought into sharper focus after a crossbow attack on 2 women near the run last month. They were both injured and have since been released from hospital. But it's now prompted a call from councillors and the MP to look at slimming down the crawl.
Now people come from all over the country, there are organised coach tours. We need to move it back to where it was something for local people and students. The establishments should contribute some sort of levy, some sort of fee towards policing that.
Pubs and venues on Saturday afternoons are packed. It bucks the trend for much of the hospitality industry, which in this part of town relies on the Otley Run.
Look, I understand there's a lot of people that come to the Otley Run on the Saturday and the services must be stretched. And as empathetic as I am with that, we are also stretched as a hospitality business, and national insurance contributions increasing, minimum wage increase. We're getting slammed at every angle, and I don't think we should be the ones that are expected to foot the bill. I mean, we pay our taxes.
This isn't something a lawmaker or even a superhero can solve quickly. The Otley Run has never been more popular, and with queues around the block, many venues won't want that to change. Ollie Constable, BBC Look North in Leeds.
Next tonight, tens of thousands of children in Bradford have become more active thanks to what researchers say is a world-leading project. They've been encouraged to move and play more at school and home. Keeping children healthy is seen as one weapon in reducing the burden of future ill health on the NHS, and this is why. Latest figures show nearly 10% of reception-aged children in England are obese, with a further 12% overweight. These figures are higher among Year 6 children, with 22% being obese and 13% being overweight. Well, the NHS advises that children should aim for at least an hour of moderate or vigorous intensity physical activity a day. In Bradford, researchers have spent the past 2 years tracking the children's progress and say they've seen a marked improvement in activity levels, as Abby Jayola now reports.
It is sunny today, what could it be?
Lessons in the sunshine, but this happens in all weathers all year round as part of JUMP, the Join Us Move Play project. Teaching kids outdoors means they can be active while learning.
So it's just a great opportunity to get the children outside, taking part in something active outside, in an outdoor environment, just getting them up and away from the classroom. We look at things like, so we do forest schools, try to get active learning into like active maths, active English, just getting them outside, getting them active.
It's den building today. The curriculum has been adjusted to allow for more movement and less time sat down. The overall aim of JUMP is to make kids healthier, but without making it just about sport or PE.
It's better than staying inside and writing, and outside you can make different things.
You get like active and you're happy.
We can do different kind of things and it's fun.
When we're in class we just get to sit down, but when we're out here we have fun activities and we get free time.
This hasn't just been based in schools. The project has worked with faith settings. They've improved green spaces, created cycle hubs and set up dance and sport activities for marginalised groups. And they've also worked with whole communities to create neighbourhood activity plans.
Ready, go!
The results are being hailed as world-beating. The data from the last 2 years shows they've increased children's activity levels in Bradford by more than an hour a week.
It's bigger than anything we've seen on a population-wide scale before, especially working in the communities that we have in Bradford, who face social and economic challenges. So we know that physical activity in areas where there's less money, or the green spaces aren't good quality, or the streets aren't well connected, is really, really challenging. So it's important for people to understand that actually we've made a significant change, but also in those communities who need it most.
The work here has been funded by Sport England, and the success is about to be rolled out nationwide with £250 million worth of extra funding.
We know, for example, that physical inactivity costs the health and social care system £10.5 billion a year. So actually, by having more people active, less people inactive, we're actually helping save money for the NHS and the public purse long term.
It's hoped that the children here are building the foundations of a healthier and more active future. Abby Jayola, BBC Look North, Bradford.
It's lovely to see the children out and about there. Well, earlier I spoke to Dr. James Nobles from the Yorkshire Obesity Research Alliance. I asked him how important exercise was to children's overall health.
I don't think we can understate or overstate how important physical activity is for young people. It's not only good for their health, it's brilliant for their mental health, it's brilliant for their engagement in schools, their productivity. All-round life, I think, can be improved really by having a physically active lifestyle.
So why are we still seeing these worrying statistics about children and obesity in general?
If we look at the places where people live, typically it's really quite difficult for people to go and have like a physically active life, to be able to kind of go and be surrounded by kind of food that is good for us. We're basically living in a world where the opposite is true. Actually, like, we're really, really having to work incredibly hard and against the grain in order to live a healthy lifestyle. It's not easy to be healthy in the modern world. And therefore, whatever we can do to change those environments that we're living in, to make them better for our health, I think is the way we've got to go with this.
And presumably, if we get diet and exercise right with children when they're young, then you'll see long-term results.
Absolutely. And it's not just for children. Like, if we start making these environments better for our health in general, not just about physical activity, not just about diet, but just general health, then the benefits aren't just for young people, they're for adults, they're for parents, they're for older generations. And that has huge beneficial knock-on effects for the wider economy and lots of those other big, important agendas that we're, I guess, trying to work towards as a society.
Dr. James Nobles, thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Now on to sport, and if you're a Sheffield United fan, you might be feeling a little nervous this evening. Tomorrow the Blades take on Sunderland in a Wembley showdown that could secure them a return to the Premier League. United haven't won at Wembley since 1925 and they failed in their last 9 playoff attempts. So can they turn things around? Well, Oggy is outside Wembley Stadium for us tonight. Oggy, can they do it?
Oh, sure they can, Amanda. You say nerves or is it excitement? There's certainly a tingle in the spine, even after all the years of us coming here, when you actually stand here with the magnificent arch of Wembley in the background and those wonderful steps where the fans have their selfies ahead of kick-off on a match day. Sheffield United have so much at stake. 1 win away from a return to the Premier League, but they've got to overcome that hoodoo in terms of playoffs. They were here a couple of years ago, of course, for the semi-final in the FA Cup against Manchester City that a lot of people have forgotten. They got beat that day as well by 3-0. There is a lot of optimism, though. A lot of fans coming down as well. I'm just going to give you a bit of orientation. This is what we used to call Wembley Way, Olympic Way now, all the way from Wembley Park Tube Station. 35,500 Sheffield United fans, same number of Sunderland fans will make their way up to the stadium. Tonight we haven't found many Blades fans, except a couple who had a lot of sensible things to say to us.
I feel more optimistic now. We're on a downhill and now I think we're on the incline now. So hopefully we keep going, keep winning, keep it going through.
The team's got the momentum. We're all fit as a fiddle. I think we're positive. Mr. Wilder will take us all the way. Yeah, perfect.
100%.
And how do you think this team would do as a matter of interest in the Premier League next season, Nathan?
I think the young lads that have come through from the academy, I think the solid players that we've got at the moment, add a few more recruitments, we're there. I think they're so positive, really exciting to watch, good standard of football. so it'll be better than last time.
Have a great day tomorrow, both of you.
Thank you, good luck, well done. Up the blades, come on.
Up the blades indeed, and that sentiment will be echoed by this gentleman standing next to me, Chris Basham, retired Sheffield United defender and defensive midfielder. I still can't get used to that, by the way, mister. And I know Blades fans who have you in the team tomorrow. Do they need that kind of muscle and strategy, Chris? What do they need tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the good thing is with Sheffield United is the freshness about them. They'll need a hero tomorrow. They'll need someone who's going to score or maybe clear one off the line, but they've also got... They've been fantastic this season, so I think I'm really excited to see how they go. The job's nearly done, but it's not over the line yet. There's a vulnerability because how good Sunderland have been against Sheffield United this season, and obviously them scoring the last second. But they've just got to be consistent in what they've been doing. Obviously, the thrash Bristol City, they can take that confidence into the next game, which is Sunderland in the big stage.
Yeah, fantastic. What would you say about the Blades with this team in the Premier League? If you put them straight in right now, briefly, Chris, if you would.
Yeah, I think all the lads will want to prove themselves again, or prove themselves that they can play in that league. I think the new owners is going to be a big thing as well. They're going to invest in the club and invest in the manager, and they'll be great.
Great to have you on our show as well, Chris. Enjoy tomorrow. If the nerves don't get better of you and us. Kick off 3:01 tomorrow. I will bring you the best of the action at the first opportunity.
Thank you, Oggy, and apologies for the sound there. We will bring you all the action, the sights and the sounds over the weekend. Now, thousands of music fans will descend on West Yorkshire this weekend. It's as 2 music festivals are taking place at Temple Newsome, with Live at Leeds in the Arc kicking off the weekend, with headliners Block Party and Yard Act. On the Sunday, the field will be full again as Slam Dunk takes over the site, with live bands like Neck Deep and A Day to Remember taking to the stage.
In Leeds itself, we have 30,000 people at Temple Newsome. It's a successful year for us, and we're very happy. Like, people are travelling literally from all around the world to come to Leeds for this festival. It doesn't stop amazing me that it has grown from something so small to what it is today.
Now, a science teacher at York High School has won a prestigious award for her outstanding school leadership. But Cheryl Alexander, who has multiple disabilities and uses a wheelchair, says she can't take all the credit. In fact, she says she couldn't get through a single day without this little chap here, her assistant dog, Tyrion, who's always at her side in the science lab. Nicola Rees reports.
If you're still giving out the sheet, that's fine.
When Cheryl Alexander's teaching chemistry at York High School, a special helper's on hand in her science lab.
He's a bit like having a voice in your head, except he's here. He's my absolute best friend. I spend more time with this creature than I do with any human.
Cheryl has physical and sensory disabilities, but Tyrion makes life in the lab manageable.
What's that? Yeah. Bring it here. Good boy.
Picking things up off the floor is his speciality, and he likes to be around to maintain order in the classroom.
Shh. Guys, when you're chatting away like this, I get the impression that you might not be giving chromatography your full attention. Students just accept it, but what I really, really love about what Tyrion brings is if a new student doesn't know my name, they won't say the teacher in the wheelchair, they'll say the teacher with the dog. And I love that.
It's really cool because he'll just be roaming around the classroom. He's really calm and he's never backed or misbehaved.
It's nice because it feels like someone else is there with Miss and it's helpful when she drops stuff and picks it up for her and that.
She's really encouraging as a teacher, so she always teaches us to keep in really good habits.
She is really inspirational, and she's in general just a really nice teacher to have.
And those teaching skills haven't gone unnoticed. She was recently honoured at the Educators Trust Awards for outstanding school leadership.
Without a shadow of a doubt, Miss Alexander deserves this award. She's such an impactful, fantastic member of staff that we have. Students accept the fact that Miss has a school dog. Tyrion is part of our school staff, if you like. But it's very much, he just helps her get around the school, be safe, and he is just part and parcel of what comes with Miss Alexander. It's wonderful.
I'm really pleased to win, but obviously it's Tyrion's award as well.
Oh, I did too far away.
He's been by my side for 8 years and I am incomplete without him. Yeah, I know, mate. I know, I love you too. So, we're going to have a go at that.
So what's changed since Miss was crowned a master educator? Well, there's a trophy on the desk, and that's more than enough fuss for her. As for Tyrion, he already knew she was special. Of course he did. He's such a good boy. Nicola Rees, BBC Look North, York.
Oh, he's absolutely beautiful. I wish we could have a dog in the studio, Katerina.
That would be amazing.
Would that be lovely?
Yeah, just sat there.
Yeah, little stroke. On to the weather then.
Yes.
I believe a change is afoot.
Yes, so it's going to turn increasingly windy this bank holiday weekend, and there's also going to be some rain around at times too. Of course, it's a bank holiday.
Classic,
it's going to happen. But out there today, it's been a really lovely day actually. This photo was sent in first thing this morning. You can see clear blue sky there, those poppies looking beautiful in that sunshine. The second photo here just shows a bit more cloud did gather through the course of the afternoon. Still some sunny spells here and there, but a lot of dry weather around. But as Amanda mentioned, all change to come over this weekend. So thank you as always for sending in your pictures. If you'd like your picture on the telly, you can send it in to us via social media or head straight to the Weather Watchers website. So this weekend it is going to turn increasingly windy, and at times there is going to be some rain. That rain's going to start to develop overnight tonight. It's this warm front that's going to work its way in from the west. Just behind there'll be further weather fronts to follow, so showers on Sunday and on Monday, most of these falling over the Pennines and further west. I think the further east you are, you should escape most of those through the bank holiday weekend. So here's your picture out there tonight. We're going to end with late spells of sunshine. Overnight cloud amounts will increase. Here's that rain that's going to move through on that cold front. There could be some heavy bursts. You can see the green there indicating the sharp ones, and temperatures will fall away to around 10 to 11 degrees. So it's going to be a mild start to Saturday morning. So your next high waters then, we've got Scarborough at 21 minutes past 2 tomorrow morning, and then Filey at 2:28 tomorrow morning. So a mild, cloudy and wet start to Saturday, but those showers, spells of rain should clear quite quickly through the morning out to the North Sea. Just behind, it's looking much drier through the afternoon. I think there's still going to be quite a bit of cloud lingering, but in places it should brighten up with a few sunny spells, and temperatures will lift widely with that warmer air mass. So even along the coast where they have been struggling, temperatures here will lift to 18, 19 degrees, in the 20s further inland. And then Sunday we're looking at a day of showers, most of these further west, cloudier again on Monday with further showers out to the west. Amanda.
Good grief, I'd almost forgotten what rain looked like. I woke up to rain this morning, and there it is for next week. Thank you very much, Katerina. That is it from us. Do have a lovely weekend, whatever the weather, and we'll be back with your late news and weather just after 10:30. Goodbye.